Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be diving into a palette that was released a little while ago, but I wasn't able to pick it up until the Sephora VIB Rouge and VIB and Beauty Insider sale. You know, that thing where Sephora gives you 20% off. I ended up picking up this palette here from NATASHA Denona. It is the gold eyeshadow palette. Before I dive into my review of this palette, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you join my makeup family here on YouTube. And while you're at it, hit the like button to show me that you're enjoying this video. I was so stoked when I saw this palette appear on Sephora's website as the latest release from NATASHA Denona. As we know, she has been coming out with a ton of different palettes, everything from the 5-pan palettes to gigantic palettes like this gold one. And you guys know how I feel about gold, so this one in particular did tug at my heartstrings. I was looking at the Safari palette, which is the all matte palette that she came out with, but the reviews were so mixed on that one that I thought for $162, I'm not going to take the chance on a palette that may or may not work. And when I started seeing some of the reviews of this gold palette here, they were so much more positive, and a lot of people compared this formula to the traditional formula that NATASHA Denona used for those really big eyeshadow palettes that she came out with a few years ago now. So with all of that said, I hit the purchase button and this baby arrived on my doorstep. I am so happy I ordered this palette. It is ridiculously expensive. I don't think anybody should be spending $162 on an eyeshadow palette, but we all have our vices. This just happens to be one of mine. Before I officially dive into this palette here, let's talk about the packaging a little bit. So this palette is made in Italy. It's said to be paraben free and it's not tested on animals. The shelf life of this is also 24 months, but as I've said in previous videos, with powdered eyeshadows or any sort of powder based product, you can get a little bit of an extended life so long as it doesn't smell, it's got hard pan or any weird bumps in the actual powder itself, you should be good to go. And for anyone wondering, this is not a vegan palette, but for me it's not a huge bother because I do like the NATASHA formula. The actual palette itself is this beautiful gold color. I love how reflective it is, although it does show a lot of dirt and it does get fingerprints on the packaging, but what are you gonna do? You crack it open, you've got a gigantic mirror, the plastic layer that protects all of the eyeshadows and has all of the eyeshadow names, and then of course you've got the palette itself. You've got 6 matte colors in this palette, 6 metallic colors, and you also have 3 colors that are more eyeshadow toppers than they are eyeshadows themselves. Now at first I thought, eyeshadow topper, how dumb is that? What am I paying for? Glitter to sprinkle onto my eyes? And then I thought about it and I'm like, I don't mind spreading a little bit of glitter on my eyes. I would have preferred these top 3 shades here though to be actual eyeshadows, but whatever, it is what it is. I think they do have really cool colors to them. This one here, which is called Lime Chrome, has a green, pink, purple, and gold shift to it. I don't know if you can really see that one on camera, but it is beautiful. This one here is just a gold, white, frosty color, and that one is called Sparks. And then the last one here is called Kava, and this one is just a straight gold topper, so there's no duochrome shift to this one. Some of these metallic colors, like the one that I have all over my lid today, which is called Aurum. This one over here is super metallic. I'm just gonna swipe that on the back of my hand. You can see just how beautiful the reflect is in this one here. You've got, oh god, this center gold color, which is called Oro. And this one here, if you just take a swatch of it, ooh, child. And then I'm just gonna put that one right next to the other color. And you can see just how beautiful and metallic these are. They have such a nice shine, and when the light catches them at the right angle, Ooh, you are gonna sparkle to the heavens, girl. As you can see, all of the colors in here do have some sort of gold tone to them. The metallics are quite obvious, and you have some really nice and neutral browns to pair with all of the gold colors. But then I love these pops of teal over here. I am wearing this teal sort of glittery color over here, which is called Aurora, on my lower lash line. I do like the color, but I don't think I'll be putting it on my lower lash line again, just because there really was a lot of fallout with the color. And that's something that I've noticed about all of the metallic slash glittery colors in this palette. There's tons of fallout on your face when you're working with them, so do use a little bit of powder or a shadow shield or whatever you do to not get all of the eyeshadow all over your face. But the pops of color for me are perfect. I think they fit in really well with all of the gold tones in this palette. I even like this duochrome up here. The shift of it is just so beautiful. I shouldn't even be calling it a duochrome. It's more of a trichrome color because it's got the pink and green and gold shift to it. It's very, very beautiful. All of these eyeshadows blend beautifully. They are very, very pigmented, and I think this is an easy palette to work with. This could be a one and done for anybody who does want to stick with a gold theme to their eye look. It is the palette that I've used all over my eyes today, and I do really love the way this look has turned out. I'm going to insert a sped up tutorial on how I got this look here. It should only be a few minutes, so don't worry, you can fast forward through it if you want, but I really want you guys to see how well these eyeshadows apply. And the one thing I am going to say is, if you're working with some of the more glittery shadows in this palette, do use a glitter glue base. That's really going to help, or wet your brush when you are applying the colors, and they're going to go on so much nicer with more minimal fallout. Okay, demo time. The gold palette, I do own two other Natasha palettes. The first one is the Lila palette, so that's the one that's got all of these gorgeous purple tones to them. I also have the Tropic palette, which is another beautiful palette. It's got more pastel colors to it. I actually don't reach for this one too much anymore, just because I have other palettes that I have been diving into. But if I had to pick out of these three larger palettes which one I love the most, these two obviously are at the top of my list. And as much as I love a gold eyeshadow, I think I'd have to say I'd rather invest in the Lila palette. I think these colors are just so beautiful, and you can do so much with this palette. If you have some spare change, of course I'd recommend you check out this particular palette here. It is stunning, and I do love the formula. I think the formula is similar to that of the Lila palette, as well as these 5-pan Natasha Denona palettes. These ones here I have loved for a very long time. I own a few of them. I also have this holiday one that she came out with last year. These palettes here are stunning. I truly feel like the gold formula is a throwback to the first formula for her eyeshadows that she came out with. So I am quite pleased with this palette. If you have the money, I'd say sure, go ahead and pick it up. It's definitely a palette worth having in your collection, but it's not something you absolutely need, so don't feel pressured to go out and purchase this. It is a lot of money. For 162 Canadian dollars, you can pick up a ton of other products, probably do your whole full face with high-end makeup with that amount of money, so no need to stress about this, but it is a nice palette. I don't have an exact dupe for the Natasha Denona palette, but if you really want to get your hands hands on some beautiful gold eyeshadows, I would say check out the Lorac Unzipped Gold palette. This one here is a stunner. You do have beautiful gold and bronze tones in here. You've got some matte colors as well that you can work with, and you can also pick up matte shades from other palettes and use those in combination with this particular palette if you want to save yourself a good chunk of change. And that's gonna do it for this review. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. You guys can also connect with me outside of YouTube on all of my social media, which I will leave linked in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!